You were good at your job. I don't mean you just showed up and tried hard. I mean, you're the one they called when things broke. The one who carried years of context that nobody else had because nobody else had stayed long enough to earn it. The one who could walk into the room, read the situation in 30 seconds, and know what needed to happen next. Not necessarily because you're the smartest one in the room, but because you'd earned that knowing one hard year at a time. Picture a meeting. Unremarkable Tuesday afternoon. Someone opens a tool on their laptop and pastes in a prompt. 30 seconds later, they produce something that would have taken you half a day, maybe longer. Everyone nods. And the conversation moves to them with their 2 weeks of experience instead of you with your 2 decades. Nobody says anything about it because nobody has to. You see, somewhere between 2023 and right now, something shifted. Not dramatically, not with a memo or an announcement or a company-wide meeting where someone had the decency to explain what was happening. It was quieter than that. A reorganization that didn't quite make sense. A meeting where your input felt received differently than it used to. A tool rolled out with a lot of energy and suddenly the conversation moved to people who'd been using it for 2 weeks instead of to you with your 2 decades of experience. Nobody told you because the rules didn't change in a way anyone planned to announce. They changed the way the tide changes, gradually at first, and then undeniably. This video is about what actually happened, who it's happening to, and the data on that will surprise you, and what the research says about the professionals navigating this well. Not successfully meaning unscathed, but successfully meaning they saw it clearly and made moves before the window closed. Because there is a window, and it's open right now. Here's the part that gets under your skin. Because if someone had just said, hey, the game is different now, you would have adapted. You always have. You've navigated hard things before. You've learned new systems, adjusted to new leadership, survived reorganizations. You're not someone who breaks when the environment shifts. But this time, nobody said anything. Instead, you find yourself in this strange private negotiation, trying to figure out if you're imagining it. Trying to decide whether to speak up or stay quiet. Wondering if this is about you specifically or something larger that you're only catching glimpses of. So you start questioning yourself. Am I slipping? Did I miss something everyone else figured out? Is this just me getting older in a young person's game? Well, that's a heavy place to sit, especially when you spend a career being the person who doesn't fall behind, who has all the answers, who makes the call. And here's the thing nobody says in the productivity articles and the LinkedIn post about quote-unquote embracing AI. This isn't just a professional disruption. For people who built their sense of self on being genuinely good at something, this is an identity crisis. The job title, the expertise, the reputation, these aren't just resume entries. For people who built their careers the way most of us in midlife do, through sustained effort, genuine mastery, years of showing up, the work is part of who you are. When the work starts to feel less certain, so do you. That's not weakness. That's what it feels like when something real is being disrupted. So let me say something plainly before we look at any of the data. You're not imagining this. You're not alone in it. And it's not a personal failure that you're standing in the middle of a system change that nobody prepared you for. The standard AI is coming for your job narrative misses the point in a way that it's actually harmful. AI didn't make you bad at your work. It made the definition of good change faster than anybody bothered communicating to you. Those are 2 different problems. The first is about competence. The second is about the rules of the game shifting mid-play. And if you've been carrying the weight of believing this is about something wrong with you, I want you to hear this clearly. The game changed. You didn't fail the old game. I want to stay here just for a moment because this distinction matters more than anything else I say in this video. A lot of people sitting where you are have been quietly carrying something heavy. A suspicion that maybe they've lost a step. That younger people in the room are sharper. That 2 decades of experience somehow didn't prepare them for this moment the way it was supposed to. I want to be careful with this because I'm not handing you a consolation prize. I'm not saying, don't worry, you're fine, because you may need to change significantly and I'll get to that. But there's a profound difference between I need to adapt to a new game and I was never good as I thought I was. One of those is a practical problem with a practical path forward. The other is a story about your worth as a person. It's a story that the situation doesn't actually support. Think about what you built over the last 10, 15, 20 or more years. The judgment calls made in real time, with incomplete information, under pressure, when no one else knew what to do. The relationships built through consistency. The institutional knowledge you carry that has never been written down anywhere, because organizations don't write those things down. They depend on people like you to hold them. None of that disappeared. It was exactly what the game required, and you played it well. The game just changed without telling you. Rule number 1, master your domain deeply. Expertise equals value. That was the compact. The new rule, depth plus AI fluency. Because depth alone is increasingly a target. Depth combined with the ability to use AI to multiply your output, to do in an afternoon what used to take a week, that's the new premium. Rule number 2, experience equals job security. The new rule, experience without adaptation equals vulnerability. Wages are rising for experienced workers, but only for those whose work involves what economists call tacit knowledge, judgment, intuition, relationship intelligence, the kind that can't be written into a manual or reverse engineered by a language model. If your experience is mostly about knowing a process, the established workflow, standard procedures, AI is learning all of that. It doesn't take vacations. Rule number 3, credentials prove competence. The new rule, demonstrated output proves competence. 2 journalists, neither of them engineers, built a functional replica of a major project management platform in under an hour using AI tools. The stock of the company being replicated dropped when the story published. That's a signal about how quickly the distance between knowing how to build something and actually building it has collapsed. Anthropic, the company behind one of the most capable AI systems currently deployed, published a major study this year that introduced a metric called observed exposure. It measures the gap between what AI can theoretically do in a given profession and what it's actually doing right now in a professional practice. And the gap is enormous. Every quarter the tools improve, adoption increases inside organizations. That 33% moves toward 94%. Not in some distant future, but across the remaining years of your working life. But here's the part that most coverage misses entirely. The workers most exposed to AI are not warehouse workers. They're not fast food employees. They're not the people that everyone imagined when AI disruptions were first discussed. These are professionals who were explicitly told that their education and expertise would protect them. Anthropic's own researchers named their worst-case scenario, not casually, but in a published research document, a great recession for white-collar workers. Now here's the counterweight, because the story has one and it matters. Stanford researchers analyzed employment data across the AI transition and found something specific. The takeaway is not that experienced people are safe, it's that experienced people who can do what AI can't: judgment, relationships, navigating situations where there's no established process. Those are the most valuable professionals in the current market. Experience alone, executing the same process for 10 years, that's at risk. Experience combined with adaptability is getting promoted. Why no one told you? Reason number 1, your employer benefits from your focus on today. If your head's down executing today's task, you're productive. The moment you look up and realize you need to retool, renegotiate your role, demand training, ask serious questions about how AI is being used to plan future headcount, you become a variable. You become someone who might leave or push back, or cost money to develop. Institutional inertia is not always malice, but you should see it clearly. Reason number 2, the shift is invisible until it suddenly isn't. It doesn't announce itself as a disruption. It arrives as a new tool, a restructuring framed as efficiency, a hiring freeze explained as budget discipline, workloads increasing while headcount holds flat or quietly shrieks. Amazon cut 30,000 corporate positions between October 2025 and January 2026. Leadership described it as a culture reset. In that same period, they implemented an 80% weekly AI adoption target for their entire developer workforce and built a surveillance system to track it. Connect those dots. Reason number 3. Most people are too busy doing the work to read the data. The research from McKinsey, from Anthropic, from the Dallas Fed, from Stanford, it's all public, all available. But almost nobody in a mid-career role is reading it and asking the personal question, what does this mean for me, specifically this year? That question is exactly what this channel is for. The Recoded Professionals Framework, 4 moves to take beginning now. Take every task you perform in a given week and sort it honestly into 2 categories. AI replaceable, human essential. AI replaceable means information comes in, unknown rules applied, output goes out. Things like summarizing, formatting, first drafts of standard documents, running reports, translating between systems. If the task has a learnable pattern and doesn't require reading a room or making a judgment call in a genuinely ambiguous condition, it's replaceable, and the timeline for replacement is not long. Human essential means judgment in novel situations, relationships built over time, the ability to navigate organizational politics, read the emotional undercurrent of a conversation, or make a call where the data is incomplete. The stakes are real. This is where your years actually live. That knowledge is the foundation of every other move. Your domain expertise is not worthless. It's your moat, but only if you build on it. You don't need to become a machine learning engineer. You need to learn to use AI to multiply the value of what you already know. A financial analyst who can model 3 scenarios in 2 hours instead of 2 days hasn't been replaced. They become 3 times more valuable. The same logic applies across every other domain. Move from execution to orchestration. The professionals thriving in AI-disrupted organizations aren't the ones doing the tasks. They're the ones designing the workflows, deciding which tools to deploy, reviewing AI output with the trained eye of someone who actually understands the domain, catching what the machine gets wrong, which it does consistently in places that matter most. The Dallas Fed confirmed this directionally. Wages are rising in roles requiring the tacit knowledge and falling in roles built on codifiable, learnable processes. If you're still the person entering data, writing boilerplate, or generating standard reports manually, you're in direct competition with software that improves every quarter. Don't wait for your organization to reorganize around you to demonstrate that you can adapt. Use AI tools in a side project now. Document the before and after. Build something, even something small, that proves you're a professional who adopts new tools rather than resist them. Start accumulating proof before someone asks to see it. And for some people, this moment, the one that feels like being quietly pushed to the side, is actually the beginning of something else. A permission slip to ask questions they've been avoiding for years. Do I even want to keep playing this game? If the rules are changing anyway, is this my chance to choose a different one? What would it look like to build something that actually sees what I bring? Those aren't small questions. They're the honest ones, and honest questions are where the real work begins. Here's what I keep coming back to. The data doesn't say experienced professionals are finished. It says the professionals combining what they already know with what AI can do are the most valuable people in the current market. That's not a consolation. That's a real structural advantage, if you act on it while you still have the stability to move deliberately instead of frantically. You have something a 25-year-old building AI fluency from scratch doesn't have. You have judgment. You have institutional knowledge. You have the hard-won understanding of how organizations actually work versus how they say they work. You understand what the model gets wrong because you've seen the edge cases that never made it into any of the training data. AI can't give anyone that. You already have it. What you need is the mindset to move from this moment instead of waiting to be moved. If you're trying to make sense of all this without getting pulled into panic or noise, I've put together something called the Adaptive Mindset Stack. It's an audio series built specifically for this kind of transitional moment, not a course. It's a tool for thinking clearly when everyone else feels like it's moving too fast. The link is in the description if that would help. And if this channel provides any value, I'd like for you to like and subscribe. This is the work we do here. I'll see you in the next one.